obviously we're going to talk about how genetic discrimination is, we're against genetic discrimination and how it can affect people and their insurance claims, and how genetic testing should not be a way for the government to test people. So genetic discrimination is extremely bad for public health programs and society, and advances in genetic testing, which is prompted by the Human Genome Initiative, increases society's ability to detect and monitor chromosomes. So these technologies result from genomic data and enhance medical science, and it encourages discrimination. Although some employers or insurers currently use genetic screening testing or data rising employee benefit costs and the premium required by insurance companies, this forces powerful incentives for the usage of genetic testing.
So, municipal, state, and federal laws, including the Americans with Disabilities Act, may not cover employees and insureds from genetic discrimination. The ADA's sweeping scope may currently provide the most comprehensive safeguard. Most importantly, we should be spending money on research for diseases so that we can learn more about them. Federal laws banning discrimination on the basis of race or sex might also successfully redress some forms of genetic discrimination.
Restart.
Genetic testing is performed to show if individuals have the mutation in their genes that can cause heritable genetic disorders. It is available for newborns, carrier testings, forensics, and more. Benefits are huge, and this can lead to faster diagnosis and accelerate treatment and genetic makeup of the individual. On top of that, genetics creates more opportunities and brings more information to the public. With more efforts put into research, we will be able to bring about a brighter and cleaner future for genetics and decrease the amount of mutations found in humans. Genetic testing is very beneficial and influential.
So, DNA fingerprinting is a method where DNA of an individual is obtained and portions of the DNA are cut and imaged. This method has largely been used to solve crimes and identify paternity. Benefits of this method of testing is that it helps seal the crime when all other evidence fits the story. So privacy issues are the only problem. Is everybody is asked to supply a sample in order to create DNA fingerprint database. This idea has been put forward to be better than using fingerprinting or social security numbers for individual identification.
A little more on the topic of genetic cloning also. Genetic cloning is a process where an identical copy of a person and their genome is made. This happens mostly using artificial means. Benefits of this technology are increasing lifespan, preventing genetic defects, and making less fertility issues and creating what would be better human beings.
Alright, so basically, if you have this genetic testing available to everyone, then genetic individuality will be so rare, because everyone's going to have the same genes, because genetic cloning is going to come up. And if genetic cloning comes up, everyone's going to have the same chromosomes and the same genomes, and it's going to reduce the individuality. So these people, the people who are individual and have diseases are going to be discriminated against and prejudiced completely, because they're not going to be perfect like all the other ones. And they're not perfect, obviously discrimination is going to come upon them. And this technology, this cloning technology, is met with many protests, because people are protesting that why should some people have perfect genes but others shouldn't, and why should they get the benefits while others shouldn't? And this is the potential of the technology, and it's clearly a disadvantage, because the disadvantages of this technology are obviously the prejudices that are going to come upon the people who don't have these genes. Also, several home tests may have been recalled to force companies to get approval. DNA fingerprinting have increased the cost due to regulations, and genetic cloning has also been looked under a microscope to prevent unethical cloning. So people are nervous about the ramification of this technology, such as still too much uncertainty and risk. So we don't even know what the long-term impacts of this technology is. Basically, it could be the cost is very high, and basically it could just be that there might be prejudice everywhere, and also the genes how will they be transmitted onto the next generation? Will they have to reclone them, or will it be passed down from generation to generation? And all these tests could create different results and different privacy laws, and it's always invading privacy. If you're fingerprinting, if you're giving out people's information for insurance companies to know, it's all privacy issues that shouldn't be allowed, that really violate some of the amendments of the United States.
Genetic testing is our future, and it will bring about more opportunities for humanity. Even though privacy is a huge portion of this, it is very important that the general public, physicians, and the lawmakers work together to create laws so that we can protect the privacy of all the people that are involved. This allows us to work together and create a brighter future for all of us. Furthermore, the cost is very important, and as more people do this testing, then the cost of this will lessen, and it will lose the amount that it takes to complete this testing. This will also bring more people into the testing centers because it will create a better future and more research in genetic testing. Individuality is also very important because this won't affect our individuality. It will also make us more better and more efficient. The FDA and international governance provides test makers guidelines to ensure that the test provides accurate results to the patients. Benefits to having regulations to prevent any unregulated tests and confuse physicians and patients with incorrect results.
Legal agencies have to churn out new laws to prevent unethical practices as new advances in this field occur. Benefits of these technologies are that we are able to catch heritable diseases earlier and provide preventive care to the target population. It is also time for insurance agencies to work together with patients. Insurances and medical costs in the U.S. are calculated based on the information regarding the disease an individual is predisposed to having during his or her lifetime. Currently, insurance agencies do not require individuals to test their genetic makeup. However, if such a test is performed legal and privacy rights should prevent insurance agencies to get it. They could begin to calculate their premiums differently or begin denying insurance. This may prevent people from getting their DNA tested. Certain hospitals are making it a requirement to get DNA testing performed for certain types of cancers and heritable diseases, such as sickle cell disease and breast cancer.
So, in conclusion, this is a terrible idea to have genetic testing in all areas, in all places, because it would just completely get rid of the individuality between humans. And there'd be extreme discrimination between non-perfect and perfect humans. Perfect humans would be like the future of our world, while non-perfect humans would be discriminated against, and laws would be made to get rid of them in some ways. Also, the cost of treatment would be extremely high for this. Treatment costs would be terribly high because you're pretty much finding out ways to test every single part of the human body and make sure that every part is perfect, and then clone another human being. Also, these tests can be unreliable. Doctors do not know whether these tests, these tests haven't even been made yet, and they have been made, but they haven't been perfectized, they haven't been made perfect. So it's hard for these tests to be completely regulated and complete. Thank you for my side of the argument.
So, as you mentioned, yes, there are a couple negatives to this, but the benefits of having an entire race of people that are perfect versions of themselves, is incredible. As we saw in the movie Gattaca that we watched in class, these children that are perfect, they're still the offspring of their parents. They still have their parents' genes. It's just the best possible combination that they can have from that. And the benefits to the employers as well is fantastic, because as we saw, the employees could be the best employees possible. They'll have employees who they know they're not going to be wasting millions of dollars sending them to the moon where they could have a heart problem in space. So the benefits of this testing is amazing. It is something that we really should look into in the future.